and this one is my own personal pick of the week. And the reason that I'm picking this one is that the rule set on this one is not too complicated, but I think it offers quite a lot of game, but also has a lot of mechanisms that I personally really love. It has dice drafting, which for whatever reason is one of my absolute favorite mechanisms, but it also has area control, but I really love the way that the area control works in this game because for each unit that you're going to be putting out on the board, you're going to be opening up an area on your own personal player board that's going to be giving you tons and tons of bonuses, creating a bit of an engine as the game goes on. It also has variable and ongoing scoring throughout the game. And what I mean by that is that each round you're going to be scoring different regions of the board, which means you're going to have to change your strategy a little bit from round to round. But then you're also gaining victory points each and every round, which is something that I'm a big fan of. I'm okay with all types of scoring in games, but if I can choose between scoring everything at the end and ongoing scoring, I do always prefer the ongoing scoring because it's nice to know how you're doing relative to other players and to sometimes feel like you're the underdog making a big comeback at the end of the game. But the way this game works is that players are going to be placing structures and people into 6 districts out on the main board. Each building behaves a little bit differently, but it can also behave differently depending on which district you put that building into. As you place out these buildings, it's going to be moving you up different influence tracks that can gain you bonuses throughout the game. And like I said, each round you're going to be scoring a different district on the map, which is going to be changing your focus throughout the game. But there are some buildings that work outside of this rule and can score each and every round. And these buildings can even have added layers on top of them, like scoring each round for how many people or specific structures are in the district with that building, or they could even gain you influence in adjacent districts. But each round, a number of dice are going to be rolled, and then players are going to be drafting from those dice. Whenever you draft a die, you're going to be gaining the resource depicted on that die, but then you'll also be able to spend that die to perform actions on your board. The nice thing about this is that the different actions on your board can also have different iconography, and if that iconography matches the icon on the die as well, that will give you some additional bonuses for performing that action with that specific die. And these actions are going to allow you to purchase and place all these different structures or people out on the main map. But the nice thing about whenever you do that is when you take one of these structures off of your board, you're actually going to be unlocking the ability that is depicted below it. Some of these abilities might be available to you just by putting out that single unit, while others might require you to put multiple units out before that ability is completely unlocked. Another thing that placing units out on the board can allow you to do is to actually open up different tracks in order to allow you to hold more resources throughout the game. But aside from placing units, you can also use those actions to buy cards, which can give you some instant or ongoing effects. And the game continues like this until that final round, and then the player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins the game. And if this one sounds interesting to you, you can definitely go ahead and check it out. I have links in the description below, and you can click to get notified.